Hello everybody and welcome back to Ys. I managed to defeat our foe down here in Raston Mine on my second attempt. Sometimes doing commentary messes a bit with the concentration, so luckily I was able to do that again. And now that we have defeated him, the chest that faked us out is no longer faked. We can open it up and we can get our third book of Ys. And we can pretty much get out of here after that. If you want to, you can walk into this room here, but you can't do anything in here for the time being. So instead, what we should do is equip our wing and warp the heck out of here, because I am finished with this place. Now that we are back in Mania, I'm just going to go and quickly buy another wing from Pym. And I do believe he has another little bit of something to say about our sword here. Wow, not bad. I didn't think anyone could poke around that old mine and live to tell about it. Well, did you find anything good down there? I'm always looking to buy. Okay, so he just wants to say a little bit about the mine. Nothing too interesting. We'll purchase our wing and we'll get out of here. I do know that we can speak to the armor and the weapon shop salesman, and I do believe that they've got something to say about our weapon. You should take good care of that blade, Adel. It would prove to be a great asset to you, I suspect. Yes, well, I do plan on taking good care of it. You don't come across a fine sword like this just any day of the week. This is truly splendid equipment. It's made of hammered silver, yet remains as strong as can be. And a blessing is carved amongst the other decorations. The workmanship on this piece is astounding. Again, just a little bit of additional dialogue. That's by no means necessary or anything like that. I just like all of the interaction we get with all of these different NPCs. Now what we're going to do is head towards Zepek Village once again. Now that we have the third book, we should probably ask Jebba to read that to us. And from here on out, we need to figure out where to go next, because we have been everywhere that we've been able to get access to so far. We've been to the shrine, we've been to Raston Mine, we've been to all three towns, and now we just gotta figure out where it is that we can go next. So let's go ahead and let's go to Jebba's house here. And let's speak to Jebba. Hopefully she has something to say to us. If we speak to her, she's just talking about the Rhoda-tree seeds again. Nothing too interesting. But she will be able to read the final book to us. This is Volume Dabby. So it was in the abandoned mine, was it? How peculiar. I speak now of the disaster of Ys. He rose suddenly and attacked our cities. He called forth molten stone from the bowels of the world to burn our fields and trap us in a sea of fire. It was terrible and absolute. One by one, our proud nations were blown out like candles, and darkness and chaos stole over our world. Surely the Claria was the cause. Was it not the harbinger of darkness? Thus we sealed it within the darkness, in the ground, so that hope may shine anew, forget it not, and never lay hands upon it again. Well, that's pretty dark, I must say. After we've gotten Jebba to read all three of the books, we should be able to leave Zepek and go back in. And hopefully they'll have some new dialogue for us now. There are 6 books of Ys. The remaining 3 are all hidden within Darm Tower. The Devil's Tower, they call it. It dates back as far as the shrine. If you go there, I recommend you speak with my son, Gobin. He should be able to show you the way in. You are an accomplished swordsman. Indeed, you are the hero that Sarah foresaw, the legendary brave soul, I commend you for coming so far. I'm certain that you will be alright, even in the Devil's Tower. So, the leader of the thieves is actually her son, which would make sense that Sarah was his cousin. None of them really look too much alike, but anyways, we can speak to him when we're ready to go. And we can also speak to Fina. I don't really know if any of this means anything to you. I won't ask you not to go, but just promise me one thing. Come back safely, so that I may see you again. Ah, Fina. She wants me so bad. I would hate to hurt her feelings and not come back, so we should probably make sure that we're prepared to go before we go ahead and venture into Darm Tower. This is the final area of the game, and you're only able to enter Darm Tower once you've done a number of different things. The first is obviously to defeat all of the bosses and gather all 3 books of Ys. That is required. And the other required thing is that you have all of the silver equipment. So you'll need to have the silver sword, the silver shield, and the silver armor, which requires you to go to each of the game's 3 areas. So really, as long as you have spent quite a significant amount of time in each area, and you've picked up everything in each of the areas, they're pretty hard to miss. The only really cryptic thing that's easily missable is the silver sword, but the silver harmonica isn't hidden, by any means or anything like that, so you just kind of have to put 2 and 2 together once you actually grab the Rhoda-Tree Seed and the silver harmonica. Up to this point, we have gotten everything that there is to get. We have all of the sword, shield, armor, and rings available in the game, and we also have all of the items so far. We have every key, we have our 3 books of Ys, we have every single collectible and other item that we've been able to pick up so far, and the rest of the slots should be filled out once we actually go into Darm Tower. I would recommend just making an extra save slot though, just in case there is anything that you've forgotten, because at this point, if you've been filling out the notebook and you're trying to get all of the NPCs in the game, or you're trying to get all of the monsters in the game and you've missed something, you won't be able to go back. If you're looking to fill out your human notebook with all the people in it, then you should only be missing 2 entries. As you can see here, I haven't bothered to talk to a lot of people in Zepik Village. I wasn't too concerned about it this time around, but if you are looking to fill it out, then your last 2 slots are the only 2 that should be emptied. We're going to be meeting 2 unique NPCs once we get into Darm Tower. And then of course, in order to fill out your monster book for that achievement, what you would need to do is have all of the fields on each of the entries filled out. So each monster's HP, strength, experience, defense, and gold. Which again, I haven't been too worried about in this playthrough, but I am doing it on a separate file, so I may or may not just load that up at some point to show you guys what a full bestiary sort of looks like. Now, with all that said and done, once we're ready, we can speak to the head of the thieves here. My mother told me everything. In order to find the remaining books of Ys, you have to enter the tower. Since the day the Stormwall first showed up, the tower's been teeming with demonic sentries. Our band of thieves tried to get things under control in there, but suffered heavy casualties. They were too strong, too many. We had no choice but to fall back. My right-hand man, Doji, has also gone missing. He's in there, but I can't even say if he's still alive. Darm Tower is an unbelievably dangerous place if you haven't gotten that already. It's most definitely not for the faint of heart. If you've truly mastered the silver equipment, the sword especially, then you might just stand a chance. Very well, I'll open the gate for you. So if you weren't ready to go, or you hadn't collected all of the equipment, he would have stopped you there and basically told you that you're not ready to go in yet. This door is one way only. Once you're inside, you won't be able to get back out. It's also completely soundproof, so if you scream for dear life, it ain't gonna wake us from our naps. I'd say at most you should be limited to 1 day in there. Make sure you're back before tomorrow morning, with or without the Books of Ys. I'll reopen the door to let you out when the sun rises. Alright, get going, and try not to get yourself killed in there. Hold it. Just so you know, that wing you're carrying, well, Darm Tower is encased in a powerful magical barrier. If you try to use the wing, you'll get sucked into the tower walls. You'll be killed instantly. I'd better hold on to it for you so there aren't any unfortunate accidents. So he'll take your wing from you, if you have a wing, and we will walk into the final dungeon of the game. I know it's hard to believe. Most RPGs nowadays are not this short, but I assure you, Darm Tower is sort of a force to be reckoned with. It is definitely worthy of the title of final dungeon. So we are going to advance on in Darm Tower in the next video. I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that you will be joining me next time.